Hi, I'm Connor, and welcome to Preacher's Projects. Today I'm going to show you how I made this simple Lego table with 4 shelves for storing your pieces, as well as your finished creations. If that interests you, stay tuned.
You can make this entire project out of one 4x8 sheet of 3/4 inch plywood. I took the cut list optimizer and laid everything out and marked my pieces. After everything was laid out, I could begin cutting the pieces to size, and I really am just following which cut to make when from the cut list optimizer. That way I could minimize the amount of times that I had to move my fence and all the parts came out uniform. Once I was done with a particular panel, I'd go back, label, and mark some more pieces, and then follow the cut list optimizer again to make sure those pieces on that panel came out exactly the way they were supposed to. But that's enough talking. Let's listen to a little bit of music while we make these final cuts. I know what you're thinking. Why doesn't this guy have a crosscut sled? I mean, didn't he make one with all of the match fit system? Yeah, it didn't really work, and we moved, and I lost it. So I set my fence to what I wanted the final height of the table to be, minus the thickness of what the top would be by using that spacer block against the fence. Then I clamped it down to my miter gauge, made the cut, and then I knew exactly that I'd have the height that I needed once I added the top. Once we had the height dialed in, we were able to come back and rip the stretchers to their final width. You can see that there's 4, an inner and an outer. With all that being done, let's get back to some music.
Okay, we got most of the pieces finished. I've got the side rails to the cabinets right here. I've got the 2 top shelves and the 4 middle shelves, the 2 kind of smaller rails, and then these I'm leaving because I'm going to cut them to length once I actually get the Lego table together and we can cut them to their exact size. But that's all the parts. We're going to start drilling some pocket holes.
There's no point in hiding this. This was a big mistake. I thought if I put together the whole cabinet with the pocket holes and made sure I clamp them right and put them all together, that when I came around to glue it up, everything would kind of index together and it would just work. But it didn't. It didn't work at all. Stuff slid all over the place. My indexing marks didn't work. And I had to rush like crazy during the glue up. But the positive part about it all is that when I was ready for the glue up, I had the best helper in the world. I mean, just look at that form. So wholesome. Squeeze, little dude. I know you can do it.
Can we paint it Star Wars?
What do you think? Is that what we should paint it? Hey, I just want to warn you, now that you've seen the cute kid on the screen and he's asked you a question, there's going to be a man in a green shirt who's going to ask you another question.
Hey, if you would, consider subscribing. We're a small channel, so every little bit helps. Every like, comment, and notification bell helps us out. Thank you.
Back to the music. Thank you for joining us. We now find ourselves a flustered and frustrated woodworker desperately trying to get this glue up done properly and without any mistakes. You're in for a treat, folks. He's going to make plenty of mistakes today. Other than fashion mistakes, you can see that I'm going to put some pieces together and realize that my indexing pins didn't do so well. So I'm going to go back and grab some corner clamps, grab some other clamps, put some screws in, take some screws out, readjust some panels, try to make it work. What you're seeing here is now a point of view woodworking where you can pretend like you are making the mistakes with me as we go about here. What really happened is I broke my stand that my camera went on, so I improvised and put it on my head. Now I know what you're thinking. I wouldn't use pocket holes on a nice piece of furniture if I wasn't planning on filling them in, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So I took a little bit of time and made this dowel shortening jig where I can cut a couple dowels, push them through, and have them in this nice little Craig container that I can use to then start filling all of the holes in. So I stuck some glue in each of the pocket holes, shoved in a dowel, hammered them in, rinse and repeat all over the project till I got some nice squeeze out, and boom! I came back the next day and I flush cut the dowels, something I've never tried before, so it was the opportunity to learn a new skill. With that, let's get back to the music. So I took the same process on pretty much all of the panels. I'd scribble a light pencil line all across the panel, so I made sure that I was evenly sanding, and then I'd go through very, very slowly and sand all the pieces. It was easier to sand the pieces when they were apart rather than once they were all together. So I did that on this little router table that I built. Really is a shame that we're going to paint this because I really do like the character that's on this top. But it'll look nicer in the kids' room once it's all painted and it looks chic and modern and beautiful. Let's listen to some more music. As you just saw, I drilled a bunch of pilot holes, laid down a whole bunch of glue, set the top down, clamped it in, and I left two sides that are proud that I'll be able to flush trim later, and then I'm just screwing all the screws to hold it tight until the glue dries. And then I did every woodworker's favorite activity, and that's throwing chips absolutely everywhere, all over the workshop. But there is something really quite satisfying about flush trimming once it comes absolutely perfect and you can feel that finished product. But the chips, man, so many chips. Who's this guy in the green shirt? Again? I guess he's going to ask you to comment and tell him what color that you think he should paint it. Anyway, let's go back to the music.